What's up, everybody? My name is Justin Glover, and you are listening to episode number 99 of the Results 513 show. The show where high-performing entrepreneurs go to step into their power and take their life and business to all new levels. And in this episode, I'm covering part 4 of a 5-part training series called the 5 Business Game Changers. I covered lessons 1 through 3 over the last 3 Fridays, and today we're diving deep into lesson number 4. Check the show notes page for this episode to get the direct links to those first 3 episodes if you want to check those out. Show notes for this episode can be found at results513.com/99. In today's show, you're going to learn how to train your mind to be proactive and find solutions. Definitely turn your earballs up and focus in on this one because it's a powerful lesson and it will be a true game changer for you if you get it. If you have not done so yet, do yourself a favor, run over to results513.com/show and download the free gift that we put together for you. It's called the 15 Must-Have Tools to be Insanely Productive in Your Business. And finally, if you want a raw, behind-the-scenes look at the Results 513 show, follow me on Snapchat. My username there is Justin Lee Glover. Thank you so much for tuning in. Before we start today's show, we're going to take 18 seconds to have a quick gratitude dance party. So as the music plays, think of one thing you're grateful for right now. 3, 2, 1. No, push the other button to start the music. The other button. No, not that one. That one starts the music. Push it. Push it now. Push that button right there. Alright, welcome back, everybody. I have a job opening for a button pusher. If you are interested in this job, please send an email to justin@results513.com. Subject line, I want to be your button pusher. It's a pretty simple job, does not pay well, but I'm looking, just FYI. Alright, let's get into today's episode. We are talking about lesson 4 in this 5-part training series that I've been covering over the last few Fridays. The last 3 Fridays, episodes 78, episodes 85, and episodes 92, I covered lesson 1, 2, and 3. And let me give you the quick backstory because this is being delivered on a podcast, and I know that there will be some people listening to this episode as the first ever episode they've ever listened to of the show. So, let me give a little context. You are in the middle of a 5-part training series. If that is you, also welcome to the show. You're in the middle of a 5-part training series, and this is part 4. So, here's the short story. I was recently interviewed on the Fearless and Healthy podcast. Great podcast. Go check it out. But during that interview, Ian, the host of the show, he actually asked me a few questions that got me thinking and sort of sparked this whole series that you're now reading and listening to and watching on video, depending on how you're consuming this. But specifically, the question that got me thinking the most was, if you could go back in time, knowing what you now know about your business, what advice would you give to your younger self? And I thought about that, and I can't remember exactly how I answered the question on the show at this point, but it was something along the lines of fail as fast as you can. That would be the advice that I would give my younger self. Fail as quickly as you can, because it's within those times of failure that you learn the true lessons that really shape the rest of your life, in your business life and everything. So I thought about it a little bit more after the interview was over, and I was reminded about this post that I actually wrote a while back on a very similar topic, sort of like, well, if what are the biggest lessons that you've learned after building 2 7-figure businesses? What are the lessons that you've pulled from that? And so I covered the 5 lessons in detail in that blog post, but that was before I actually started the show, the Results 513 show. So I thought, you know what, I really need to get that out because it was a great post. It was shared lots and lots of times, lots of comments. It was a really amazing post from the feedback that I got, and I thought, you know what? I want to share this with the listeners of the 513 show. So that is how you got here today. That is, that's the backstory for it. And I tell a little bit longer of a backstory today, just, well, kind of because today's lesson is really, really short, and there's not a whole lot of elaboration that needs to occur on it. However, that being said, you will want to go check out the other episodes in this 5-part series. Again, that's episode 78, 85, and 92, every Friday for the last 3 Fridays. So, in those episodes, I've talked about a concept called the MARM. I've talked about a few things that you'll probably need to have heard for today's lesson to actually make sense. So, I preface it that way because I don't want somebody coming in the middle of this series and listening to this episode and saying, oh, yeah, that's cool, it makes sense, but yeah, that's pretty simple, I kind of already knew that, all right? Without the context of the last 3 lessons, the I already knew that door is wide open for people, the hole, I guess, is open for people to fall into. So I want to prevent that from happening, so go into today's episode, today's lesson, with that sort of pre-frame in your mind. So, with that being said, let's get into lesson number 4. And lesson number 4 is simply start being proactive. All right, start being proactive. Now, let me give you a super brief recap of the first 3 lessons. Lesson 1 was keep things simple. Pretty self-explanatory. All right. Lesson 2, eliminate energy vampires. I talk about what those are, why we have them, the nuances that are involved with them, and how to eliminate them. And then I introduced the concept called the MARM. And the MARM is necessary for you to understand for the concept of being reactive and proactive, which is lessons 3 and 4. For that to make sense, you need to understand this concept of the MARM. So I'm going to reteach this briefly, just for those that are new. I still encourage you to go back and get the full original teaching of it, because, again, little small nuances that will make a difference here. But essentially, the MARM is a representation of a part of our mind. So our mind is like Google on steroids, okay? So our minds are very, very powerful. They have the ability to automatically search our subconscious mind and recall the information when we need it, exactly how we need it, in a split second. So I gave the example. I said, here's proof of it. Think of your kindergarten teacher's name, and the answer just sort of springs out of nowhere from you, and from deep within your subconscious mind, all of the resources that you possess, the answer to that question was identified, brought to the surface, given to you, all within a fraction of a second. So this is one of the most powerful mechanics of our mind, all right? And MARM stands for Mind's Automatic Recall Machine. I learned about this concept of the MARM in a course called Alpha Influence. There's links back to it on the show notes page for these episodes. Okay, so that's enough about the MARM for right now. For now, know that mastering this part of your mind will be one of the best decisions that you ever make. All right, it has been for me. It has been for countless others. Your ability to control your MARM will allow you to make your wildest dreams come true. Literally, anything that you can dream of, that is what will happen. So lesson 3 was stop being reactive, and now lesson 4 is start being proactive. All right, so that brings us full circle now. Being proactive is the exact opposite of being reactive. When you're proactive, you are in control of your circumstances, truly in control of your circumstances. When you are reactive, your circumstances are in control of you. If you're not proactive, here's the thing, you will automatically be reactive. So you have to make the decision to be proactive. So here's what being proactive looks like to me. When problems come up, I consciously decide to focus on the solution. All right, the solution. I make a conscious decision to say, okay, here's a problem. I want to focus on the solution to this problem. Focus on finding the solution. And I even say that out loud. What this does is it causes my marm to start looking for every possible solution available for this problem that now is in front of me. And it guides me towards a solution. All right? I also focus on my strengths, all right, instead of my weaknesses. This causes my marm to look for different ways to use my strengths to overcome any challenge, all right? So I'm thinking about it, I'm focusing on what are my strengths in times when crisis, when problems come up, when crisis arises. What are my strengths? And again, say this out loud if you need to. It causes your mind to start not only looking for a solution, but also focusing on your strengths and remembering and, hey, here's what you've done in the past. That whole process, it happens a lot faster when you focus on the solution and you focus on the strengths. And then part 3 is you focus on your courage. All right, this is the third thing that I focus on is my courage. This causes my marm to remind me of past successes while strengthening my will and my resolve, right? It amplifies my focus and it helps me overcome any fear that may be lingering around somewhere. Okay, so focus on past situations when you've overcome things, when you've overcome similar obstacles. And I realize that in the moment of problem, it's difficult to stop and say, okay, well, let me think of a past time in my life when I've had a similar challenge and overcome that. Maybe I can draw some courage there. I get that. So simply just say the words. Just let your brain know. Consciously think on, I choose to focus on my courage. I want to focus on my courage in times like this. I want to focus on my strength in times like this. And I want to focus on finding a solution for this thing so that all 3 of those things come together and the solution comes as quickly and as easily as possible. That's lesson 4 in a nutshell. All right? So, with that being said, I hope you have found some value in it. Thank you so much for tuning into the show today. I look forward to talking with you in the next part of this training, in tomorrow's episode as well, but also next Friday is part 5, so definitely tune in. If you're new here and you've missed the first 3 episodes, or if you're not new here and you just missed them for some reason, go check them out. They're really great. Again, I've listed out the different episodes, which ones those are. Episodes 78, 85, and 92. You can get to all of those episodes by going to results513.com / and then the number 78 / 85 / 92. That will take you directly there. And that is it for this episode. Thank you so much. Learn to shift your focus to really retrain your marm to be proactive. Think proactive. And you'll be good to go. So thanks so much again for listening in. We'll catch you in the next episode. Bye-bye. All right, so there you have it. That is lesson number 4 of the 5 business game changers. I sincerely hope that you have enjoyed today's episode. If you did, we would love it if you would share the Results 513 show with a friend, with somebody else who you think will get value from it. Be sure and subscribe on iTunes by going to results513.com / iTunes. That helps us rank higher, helps other people find the show. You can also subscribe on Stitcher. If that's more your thing, results513.com / Stitcher. If you would like to get the full experience of today's episode, the notes, the links, the videos, everything included, head on over to results513.com / 99. Also, if you have not done so yet, do yourself a favor, run over, grab the free download that we put together. You can get it at results513.com / show. It's called the 15 must-have tools to be insanely productive in your business. Go check it out. And speaking of show notes, today of all days is the day to visit the show notes page. After today, it's going to become increasingly more difficult to get the show notes. Tomorrow is episode 100. So today is the last time. It's the last 2-digit show notes page. 99 is it. Next is 100. So, after today, it's all downhill in terms of how many buttons do you have to push to get to the show notes page. There will be more effort required to get to the show notes page. Today is the show notes you want to check out. results513.com/99. Tomorrow will be 100. I hope we see you there. Don't look at me that way. You know which button to push, motherfucker.